35-40. Midfield, McFadden breaks a tackle. He's gone! 10-5 touchdown! Raiders!
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
What's going on, Raider Nation? My name is Pharaoh. I'm back again to bring you insight on Raider news, rumors, anything Raider related. In today's episode, we'll be talking about the top 5 realistic free agent wide receiver options. Before I get into that, please make sure to smack that like button and comment and subscribe so I can keep coming back with even better content, good quality content. Now, back to the list. Also, before I get into the list, I just want to point out this. I'm not going to be talking about Davante Adams, Chris Godwin, Odell Beckham Jr., all these receivers that are really, at the end of the day, they're unrealistic. They're going to be signing with their respective teams. In order to get them, we'd have to give up, probably be a trade, give up picks, which doesn't really help this team, especially the way it's constructed. We need all the talent that we can get, and draft picks are basically talent. So I'm not going to be talking about, receivers or options that really are not that available, whether it's trade, if they've been tagged, or all signs point to them signing with their respective teams. Now, that being said, number 5 on my realistic wide receiver options in free agency is Christian Kirk, the former second-round pick from the Arizona Cardinals. Definitely a good option. He's versatile. He's played in the slot. He's played on the outside, mostly played in the slot. As of 2021, he had his biggest year, 77 catches, 982 yards, 5 touchdowns, definitely in a contract year. So he definitely stepped up there. He did disappear at times, which I didn't like, looking into his production last year and what he was able to do with the Cardinals. He disappeared at times, especially with DeAndre Hopkins out, which tells me this is not a guy that is coming here to be a number 1 option or even a number 2 option. He's coming here to complement the pieces that we already have. And, obviously we have Waller, we have Renfro. We're definitely going to be drafting receiver in the draft, in my opinion. And, even if we pick him up, I see the Raiders also going with another piece to go along with him. But I have a number 5. The number 4 receiver that I have as a realistic option in free agency is Marquez ValdesTechnical. He's 6'4", 208. He's a deep threat. He's a former Packer. He basically was Aaron Rodgers' deep threat. He complemented Davante Adams when he was there. But he's a cheap option. We can get him. We can have him complement the pieces that we already have in our offense. And I believe we can pair him with another receiver in free agency along with the draft. He's like I would project him as like a number 2, 3 outside receiver. Like I said, he's a deep threat. So he had a career average of 17.5 yards a catch. His career year that he have as far as the average goes, he had it back in 2020, which is recent, 21 yards a catch. He was hurt last year, but just like every free agent, pretty much their injury is a pretty common theme. So you're going to have to take, an educated or, well-informed risk. But like I said, I do like him. He can complement the pieces that we have. And, speed was definitely an issue for the Raiders, especially when Ruggs got hurt. So for him, definitely would be a nice pickup. The third option that I have in free agency as a realistic option is JuJu SmithSchuster. He was a second-round pick from the Steelers. He's 25 years old. It feels like he's been around for a while, for forever. But he's 6'1", 215, physical receiver. He's good after the catch, but he's more of a big slot receiver. He's not that fast, but you can put him on the outside. You just got to put complementary pieces. I say if you get a guy like JuJu SmithSchuster, you definitely got to add some speed to complement his ability to get open underneath. And in the red zone, I like his red zone production. That's one of the things I liked about him. I feel like receiver, if we get a receiver in free agency, we got to make sure that we can get a guy that can get open in the red zone in those areas of the field. But like I said, if we get him, we definitely need to pair him up with a speedy option. Obviously, we can do that in free agency and the draft as well. But moving on to the number 2 option that I have as a realistic option in free agency he could have easily been number 1 on my list, is the former Jaguar wide receiver DJ Chark. I really like this wide receiver a lot. He has the highest ceiling of any free agent, in my opinion. He's only 25 years old. He's been around for like 4 years. He's 6'4", 200 pounds with 4.3 speed and a 40-inch vertical coming out the draft. So the dude is a freak athlete. He broke out in 2019, his second year in the league, with 73 catches, 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns. But just like every free agent, they do come with some red flags, and DJ Chark is not any different. He was hurt in 2021, only played 4 games. His spot track market value is 11.9. We might be able to get him at that price, maybe lower, just based off his recent injury, and we can negotiate that. So this is I feel like would be a good investment, is to go after a guy that can potentially be a number 1 receiver for us. My number 1 realistic receiver option in free agency is Allen Robinson, former Bear and Jaguar receiver. He's my number 1 receiver on the list, and honestly, he's the only proven number 1 option on this list and in free agency, to be honest with you. He's 28 years old, so he's still in his prime. He's standing at 6'2", 220 pounds, and as a physical wide receiver, he's not fast, but that's not his game. He still can dominate in other ways. He was injured in 2021, but the 2 years prior, from 2019 to 2020, he totaled 200 catches, 2,397 yards, and 13 touchdowns. So I still think that he can still be productive. He just needs to get healthy. But I would say the most impressive thing about Robinson is he's been a productive number 1 option without playing with a legit starting quarterback. He's played with guys like Gardner Minshew, Mitch Trubisky, Blake Bortles. That being said, he was really close with DJ Chark due to his potential. But I had to go with the established receiver here. We need a number 1, and he's already there. He's already proven that. He just needs to get healthy. But I wouldn't be mad with DJ Chark as well. So that's my list so far. I did have some. I'm gonna mention some honorable mentions as well. A guy like Will Fuller, when he's healthy, he's one of the best deep threats in the league. But that's the issue. He's never healthy. I don't think he's been healthy since he's come in the league. But when he has played, he's pretty good at what he does. We can definitely get him on a really, really cheap contract just based off his injury. We definitely would have to go after multiple receiver options in free agency. Just I would say like a backup plan to a backup plan, so to speak. Another receiver option that I could see the Raiders picking up is the former Patriot Jacoby Myers. McDaniels is familiar with him. He's a possession receiver. He knows the offense, so I can see that happening. I can see there has to be some type of former Patriot coming to this offense, and I could see it happening as a receiver with Jacoby Myers. But that being said, that's all I got for you today. Be on the lookout for more free agent breakdowns. But this is definitely a much needed video that I had to do. I had to get into the receiver position because that's definitely a position that the Las Vegas Raiders definitely need to address. But please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And that's all I got for you. Until next time, peace.
Just win, baby.